So you saw the title. You're like, what's going on, bro?
If y'all want, y'all should definitely go check out Slider's video. Liam has some good things he says. This is a very different video from his. I was just messing around. This is not to make fun of his video at all. It's Eric Drawing Studios. This is my extra channel. I'm just having fun messing around. Yeah, but I do have some real things I do want to say about Brickfilm Day. I do think that it could be improved, and just the way it was run was not right, in my opinion. I think that they could do a much better job, and they didn't do as great of a job as they usually do, which I know is different with the new leadership and getting used to how it's being run. It's going to be a little bit different, and I'm totally okay with that. You guys can work on it and figure it out, but I want to give you feedback so you can do better in the future. I just don't think this contest was run well, and I want to see it being run better. So, I'm a sore loser. I'm disappointed that I lost, but that's not why I'm making this video. I actually think that the judging was fine, and I do agree my animation was not very transformative in the sense that the animation of the transformation was not like the most spectacular transformation ever. Before I even get to talking specifically about my entry, I just want to like basically say the synopsis of this video is that Brickfilm Day did not meet the judging criteria that they had set out in the first place. So for my video, I know that there's a lot I can improve on, and I want to be the best animator possible. I want to grow in my animation. I want to do as well as I can. So I reached out to the two judges who were on Discord that I had contact with, Penta and Storm the Blank, and both of them said essentially the same thing. The reason I didn't move on to the third round was because I didn't have enough of a transformation, special transformation. My animation is rather basic. The transformation from the skateboard to the surfboard was not anything special. And I think that this is just different from how it's been run in the past. So in the past few years, I've done Brickfilm Day as many times as I can. I think this is the fourth time I've done it. I did Brickfilm Day. The first time I ever did it, I got to round 2 and got eliminated. The second time I did it, I got to round 3 and got not ranked. The third time I did it, I got 10th place, and so this fourth time I was hoping to get higher than 10th place, hopefully a 9th or higher. But honestly, I'd be satisfied with whatever. Getting to the third round, I thought would be like easy enough for me. I'm obviously very busy. I did this in my dorm room, so this animation was kind of hard because I didn't have all the tools I had needed. I had very little like animation stuff, so I couldn't do much transformation. And that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about, is that the lack of Lego elements that I had made it hard for me to do a transformation. So I had those blue studs, and I had the green grass, and then I had a couple figures and some extra accessories. So I had like a skateboard, a surfboard, some weapons and stuff. But I didn't have a lot to do like a transformation with brick built kind of stuff. I think, for instance, Abrick's animation was insane the way the missile shapes and forms into a new thing. But because I don't have access to my Legos at home, I just don't have the ability to do that because I only have so many Legos that I brought with me here to my dorm room to college. And so it's hard for me to do an actual transformation in which I had something transform with like brick built effects. So that was kind of part of the reason why I chose the thing that I did. I actually thought about this for a long time. I ended up animating this at 3 a.m. on Sunday and finished it and submitted it 3 a.m. on Sunday. So 7 hours before the deadline. Because I had a hard time coming up with ideas. I messed around with some other things, but it's just really hard not having a lot of pieces. You can kind of see that in my other video. I have a base plate, I have flour and a character and a rig, and that's I don't have a lot of pieces in order to make a brick built effect that I would have wanted. So it's kind of hard to do a transformation effect without that. Um, and I think that's normal and it shouldn't affect me. I looked at the Brickfilm Day document of the judging. So the three judging criteria are technique, character animation, and creativity. And I think that with the amount of things that I had, it's kind of hard to do an actual transformation effect. So I tried to be as creative as I could. There was nothing in there about like fulfilling the theme to the best, like who did the best fulfillment of the theme. The theme is kind of just like the umbrella on which you do your animation, because otherwise, if you do your animation on anything, it's going to be very ambiguous. And so they have a theme to kind of be an umbrella over what you're supposed to be animating. So you kind of have an idea of something you're supposed to animate. I think that the theme to me was just an idea of which I had to fall under in order to animate. I didn't realize the theme was more of like a animation challenge that Bricks in Motion has, that you had to see who can best complete that theme. In past years has just been like, what can you do with the theme and how can you make it interesting? How can you have good technique, good character animation, and good creativity within the umbrella of the theme? Not that you have to specifically do the theme. I felt like the contest was more an animation challenge than the actual contest that it has always been, which is you get the theme of an umbrella and then you have to fulfill the theme some way with good technique, with good character animation, and creatively. And if you do that well, you can move on to the next round. I didn't realize that I had to do like the best transformation specifically in my animation, because there are lots of surrounding parts in the animation that include this idea of transforming. To get into specifics, my entry was this guy skateboarding through the environment, and then he transforms the environment into um, waves, and he's now surfing. I had a lot of transformation elements in it. For instance, the transforming environment around him as the grass and the things around him are moving. And then the transformation of the surfboard, and then the transformation of the environment. So there are a lot of different transformations in that. I specifically focused on technique and character animation, and obviously I tried to be creative with this entry by switching the environment rather than having something actually switch within the person. I think that my problem with this is really that Brickfilm Day, these contests have never been about who can fulfill the theme the best way, because that would be under the criteria. It's more who can, using the umbrella of the theme, who can have good technique, good character animation, and good creativity. And I think that I brought that to the table. Now, before you go in the comments and be like, well, they made the decision, why are you a sore loser? I would say that I'm happy with the decision. I think that it's completely fine. Um, I'm not arguing with the decision in any way. In fact, I think that they have good reason to make the decision. I think that there are a ton of good entries, and honestly, I'm not surprised with who they chose, because there are a lot of insane animations and animators. I just wanted to know from the beginning of the contest that it was more of like an animation challenge where you had to fulfill the theme. Um, and that's what they're judging you on, and not the surrounding animation. Because I was more aware that it was the whole animation, the surrounding animation, the whole thing as a whole, and not just the specific transforming part that was being judged on. And to my knowledge, Storm the Blank and the rest of the judges were more focusing on the specific transforming part. I think I like the way Penta put it. He said that my animation was good, but the deciding factor was the transforming element specifically, and so they decided on some other ones because they had good animation as well, but more transforming element. Um, but once again, the three judging criteria did not include the theme usage as part of it, and I think that that was kind of just misleading for me, um, because I've done this contest for many years and it's been run very differently. So this was clickbait. Brickfilm Day did not screw me over. I think that it is true. Brickfilm Day has a very different way it's being run than it has in the past, and I wish it would be run better. I just had a couple of critiques, but I know that it can be run better. I know that it can do better as long as it takes into account the feedback. So I think, like for instance, one, checking the spam and making sure that people are getting their entries in, as Liam said, but two, just like being more clear on what they're judging, and that the main thing that they're judging is not creativity, character animation, and technique, but they're more focused on the creativity, character animation, technique of the specific transformation, because I thought it was the whole animation, including the story of it. Um, of course, if I were to just do an animation of this guy like doing a flip, and that's it, and I say, well, I was trying to do character animation, that doesn't count because that's not really character animation involving transformation. The video that I made was fulfilling the theme. It was under the umbrella of the theme, transforming the environment around it, transforming the surfboard, and transforming the surrounding area as it's passing through and by him. That was the umbrella of the transformation, and it fell under that umbrella. And yet my entry did not get accepted into the next round. This video is more just like a fun little video essay with the nice camera that I have while I'm shooting and renting it over the weekend. But it's not really like a major critique of Brickfilm Day. I think that Brickfilm Day can obviously do much better, and it kind of have high standards because James did it amazingly, BP, and James and all of Brickfilm Day did it great. Bricks in Motion have not really come to that standards, and they have been failing in a lot of ways. I just like to see them do better for years in the future. Once again, I'm fine with me losing. I think that the the contest is great, that there are lots of amazing entries getting onto the final round. I'm not really worried about that. I think that their judging is fair. I would just like to know that beforehand in the future so that I can take more account of putting that into my animation. But yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts I had on this topic. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and God bless. See you guys later.